Okay. Hi everyone. For those of you who are listening in, I'm answering a question from set 1, okay, this book, question number 3. Okay. So the question says a straight line with a gradient of 3/5, okay, passing through the point 0 and -2. Write the equation of the straight line in a gradient form. So the first thing we need to remember is anything in gradient form, okay, is y equals to mx plus c, and the only thing that we need to replace in is actually the gradient, which is m, and then c, which is the y-intercept. Okay, and usually there'll be two different kinds of cases. Either they will give the gradient and the c, then you just replace it in, or they will give you the gradient and a point. Okay, so in this case, they give you a gradient and a point. So the gradient is given as 3/5. Okay, the gradient is given 3/5, and they give you a point 0 and -2. Now it's important to note now that the 0 and -2 actually is the y and the x. Okay, this is the x and this is the y. Where if you replace it in here, you can actually find the c. Okay, so it'll be -2 equals to 3/5 times 0 plus c. Okay, which will give you c equals to 0, c equals to -2. Okay, and then this will give you the equation. The equation will be y equals to m is 3/5. Okay, x, and because c is -2, so the equation will be like this. Okay, so this is the same form. Okay, so very important to know why they give you the point. Okay, and if you actually understand it further, this 0 and -2 actually is the y-intercept, because y-intercept is when x equals to 0. Okay, it's also known as the y-intercept, which is actually the c lah. Okay, but in case they don't give you a 0 and -2, they give you a random point. Okay, then you should be able to substitute it in to find the c, and then you can put it as the equation. Okay, y equals to 3/5x minus 2. Okay, moving on to question B. Okay, I hope this answers question A for you. Okay, if not, don't worry. You can rewind this back later and you can watch the recording. Okay, question B. A point P moves such that its distance from point R, 1, 2 is equal to its distance from the x-axis. Find the equation of velocity P. Yeah, this was the problem that we faced when we were answering this question. Give me a minute to figure out. Okay. So the important thing to know is this one. If it is equal to distance from x-axis, okay, that means all the way along the line of the x-axis, the distance from the point to this side is equal. Okay, so if I'm going to have t, okay, t as x and y, okay, and then they're giving you r. Okay, r is 1 and 2. Okay, the important thing to know about this is that the distance from the x-axis, I'm going to give this another point. Let's say PR, I'm going to call this S. S is actually 0 and what? Oh, sorry. Y, oh, no, sorry. Sorry. 0 and, whoa, sorry. I'm stuck. Kita ambil answer y minus 0. It is y minus 0. So we don't really care what the x is. Okay, because if it is equal to the x-axis, then the point S okay, will be whatever point in S, but it will always be along the x-axis. So any point along the x-axis, okay, is something 0, something 0, something 0, something 0. So in that case, you can form the equation of the locus by saying that PR, okay, equals to the distance from R to S. And if I use the equation, the formula, okay, formula for distance, distance between 2 points is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared square root. Okay, so PR will be x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals to R and S. Oh, sorry, P and X. Okay, yeah, if P to R is equal to the distance from P to X. So the x minus x squared plus y minus 0 squared. Everything square root. Okay. So since x and x they can cancel each other out because x minus x is 0. So you're left with this. I can cancel the two square roots out. Okay, so I'll get x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals to y minus 0 squared. Okay, and then I will carry on to go all the way. Okay, I think the difficult part is to understand what it means by distance from the x-axis. The distance between P to R and the distance between P to S, okay, is the same. Okay, but because it is from the x-axis, that means any point in x is acceptable, but the value will always be, the value for y will always be 0. Oh, sorry, I'm out of the frame. Okay, the value for y will always be 0. So it's very important for us to know how to change this into mathematical form. Distance from the x-axis means x is a upper point here, but y will always be 0. So because x is a upper point, okay, whatever point that P travels on, if this is the locus P, okay, it is always the same distance, okay, anywhere along the line. But the y must always be 0. So when you have figured this out, okay, then you do the equation, expand and simplify. According to the answer, you should get x squared minus 2x plus 4y. And 2x minus 4y plus 5 equals to 0. Does that answer your question? I hope it answers the question. I think the difficult part about this question is understanding this. Okay, the distance from the x-axis. So if it is the distance, let's say if I change this to distance from the y-axis, then this point will be 0 and y. Be 0 and y, then of course my distance will be different a bit. Okay, so if there's something you still don't understand, you can just raise your hand again and then I will unmute you, or you can ask me in the chat. Okay, but thank you very much for the question. Good question. Okay, good to know this. Bagus juga kamu tahu lah this thing. Okay, kalau distance from y-axis begini, kalau distance from x-axis is x0. Whichever axis that is the same distance, that's the one that becomes the unknown. Dia punya kawan yang akan jadi 0. Okay, simple way to remember this. Thanks for the question. Any other question? Wow, my first question. I'm so proud. Any other question? Yeah, for those of you who just came in, we were answering from this book. Okay, and question number 3. Okay, this question. I think the person that asked me the question didn't have a problem with question A, but most of us will have a problem with question B, because when I did this with S2 and AC, we also had this problem. And I'm not sure whether the S2 people remember what the solution was. Okay, but it's good to always remember again. Okay, so if you have any questions, just click on raise hand. Don't worry, your microphone is not rose up. I think I have to keep repeating this again. Okay, for those of you who just came in, I'm going to show you this thing again. Okay, just to show you what's happening so that you don't get lost. First and most important is your mic is muted. Okay, and I will only unmute it if you have a question for me. Okay, and then if you have a question, okay, if you have a question, okay, hold on now, Tom, I'm going to answer the question in a while. If you have a question, just press on raise hand, and then I will unmute, then you can ask me the question in person. Okay, if not, you can also choose to type out your question in the chat box. Okay, and then I will get back to you. Okay, everything otherwise, please note that this tutorial session is recorded for quality and improvement purposes. So whatever picture that is being shown now, okay, everything is being recorded lah. So even your face or whatever is being recorded. Don't worry, I won't show it to the school. Okay, it's only for me to improve. If you feel that I'm not talking loud enough, please tell me. But I would recommend that you put on earphones because kalau kau pakai kau punya telefon saja dia punya speaker kan, it's a bit hard to hear. Okay, alright. So coming back to me, so somebody asked me just now, what happens to the x minus x? X minus x is 0 lor. 0 squared is 0 lor. Okay, so the x minus x disappears lah. Okay, so yes, somebody messaged me privately. Same set question 10. Okay, thank you. Hold on for a while. I'm just going to answer the same question that was asked by Tom. X minus x is 0, so 0 squared will be 0. Okay, I don't think I need to go on further. Yeah, I think you can figure it out for yourself. The x minus x just cancels each other out. Okay, well, I have another question. It's from the same set. Okay, it's from the same set. Oh, I'm recording. Okay, it's from the same set, question 10. Okay, question 10, same set. So, set number 1, question 10. So the question is, question 10. Okay, correct, correct set. Okay, so same set, question 10. Given that fx equals to minus 3x squared plus x plus 16, find the range of values of x for fx is less than 6. Okay, so you're given two very interesting things. The first of all is that fx is not like 0. So they're giving you fx equals to minus 3x squared plus x plus 16. Am I right? Yeah. Okay, and then the second thing they give you is that fx is less than 6. Less or equal to 6 lah. Okay, so if you're going to do this, hold on, let me take out my focus on this color. Okay, so it seems fx is less than 6. Which page? Somebody asked me which page. Page 7. It's on the same set. Set number 1. Set number 1. Yeah, set number 1. Page 7, question number 10. Okay. Guys, I suggest that if you have a question to ask, you should ask it not privately and publicly, so that everybody knows which question I'm talking about. Because quite a number of you ask me questions, you ask me privately, so I'm like, okay, I have to say the question number again to everyone. Okay, don't need to answer me privately. Okay, so fx is less than 6. Okay, find the range of values of x. It's important to note now when they say the word range of values, okay, you want to have two kinds of answers. Okay, you want to have two kinds of answers. The first kind of answer is either x is less than and x is more than, okay, a certain number and a certain number, or x is in between two numbers. Oh, okay, one certain number, one certain number. Okay, there are two kinds of answers that we're looking at, depending on the situation. Okay, it depends on the situation. So in this case, the question that they give us is fx is less than 6. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. If fx is this one and fx is less than 6, so if I combine these two together, I'll get minus 3x squared plus x plus 16 is less than 6. Okay, that's logical. Then what we need to do is bring the 6 across. Minus 3x squared plus x plus 16 minus 6 less than 0. This is very normal step that we always do. So minus 3x squared plus x plus n is less than 0. Okay, and then naturally after this, kalau nampak sudah begini kan, you want to do EQN, you want to get the answer and yada 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 yada. Okay, but I would suggest that before you do that, okay, in order for you to do the lead, I'm not sure how the other teachers teach you, but for my students, I teach this way lah. Okay, either this one, it's either you shape this area or shape the cheek. How did I teach? Lidah dengan bibir, and this one lah. Okay, whichever lah. But in order for you to do this, we must make sure that this one must be a positive number, because this doesn't work if this is a negative number. It doesn't work that way. Okay, maybe when you go to Form 6, you will study another method. But since we're using the simplest method, Okay, there's only one condition you need to remember, which is this one can only work if this is a positive number. But we can do this, we can change it to positive. Totally no problem at all. Change everything, tukar tanda semua lah. So this will become 3x squared minus x minus z. Okay, but this will become more and equal to 0. The very important thing is that when you change the tanda, when you change the sign for everything, you also have to change the direction of the inequality. Dia punya ketaksamaan itu kau kena ubah arah. Okay, then after that you get the 2 this one. Okay, the 2 this one, so you get 3x. This is probably, oh, I don't know. What's the difference? Do I have my calculator on me or not? 5 and 2. Should I do 5 and 2? No. Oh, I can't do 5 and 2. Does anybody know the solution for this? If I can find my calculator, I can do the solution for this. Oh, hold on. I think I have lost my calculator. Does anybody? Then 5/3 and this one. Okay, thank you. Yo, ada juga. Plus 2. X is equal to 2. So this will be minus 2 and this will be minus 5/3. Cannot be off. If x is equal to 5 or minus 5/3, so this is plus. Sorry. Is this about right? Minus 6 plus 5. Okay lah. Fine. So you get the 2, this one lah, 5/3, minus 5/3 and 2. Okay, which we put into here, minus 5/3 and 2. And since we're shading above 0, so we're shading this part. Therefore, your answer will be x is more and equal to 2, and the other one will be x is less and equal to negative 5/3. Okay, I think the biggest confusion that you want to avoid in this section is this one. Okay, there is a reason why they give this negative sign, so that so that you remember that if you change the tanda, you also have to change the sign. When you change the sign, okay, then it affects where you shade lah. Remember, kalau dia lebih dari kosong, okay, if it is more than 0, then you are shading here and here. If you are less than 0, then you are shading here. Okay, this shading is 1 mark. Okay, in the exam, the shading is 1 mark. Let's say I'm going to give you A and this B lah. Okay, this A and this B. So if you're shading here, then your answer will be x is more than A, x is less than, more than B, x is less than A. Okay, for this, like this one, just like this one, x is more than B is B, and x is less than A. But if you're shading here, because the question say less than 0, then you get x is in between B and A. Okay, x is in between B and A. Hold on now, set 1, page 7, question 10. Can you give me 1 minute? Okay. Yes. Collecting to Alaska. No, it's not collecting. It's this book, Daniel. Sorry, this book. I'm going to, okay, this question, set 1, page 7, question 10. Correct. Yes, sorry. Thank you for those of you who just came in. Oh my goodness. Aku punya ini. Wow. Okay. I see the very interesting your background. Nice. Okay. So yes. Who was it that asked me just now? Yeah, to the person that asked me. I hope this answers your question. Yeah, I hope this answers your question. Okay. So once again, hi to everyone who just came in. Just to remind you that this is a test run for the tutorial session. Most likely, when we start school, okay, next week, I will probably use this way to teach the 2 subtopics for physics and to finish up the linear law on advanced. Okay, so it doesn't matter which class you're from, kamu boleh dari S1, S2, S3 atau AC. But for those of you who are taking physics, I want you to know that I'm covering only 2 subtopics. So saya difahamkan, S3 dia belum habis 2.3 ya. Okay, but we've already finished 2.3. So don't worry about it. You can learn 2.4. Jangan masalah. You can learn 2.4 without 2.3. But I will be teaching 2.4 and 2.5 next week. Okay, my aim is sebelum kita kembali ke sekolah, like for real kembali ke sekolah, I want to finish chapter 2. Okay, because we are planning for chapter 2 to be in, the whole of chapter 2 to be in the exam. Otherwise the exam kan, 3 subtopic only, no point lah. Okay, sama aja macam UP1. So that's why I need to do this method lah. Okay, but some people are also saying that, susah macam mana orang yang tiada internet. Some people only got basic, so they can't do all these live streaming things lah. So which is why I'm recording. Everything that I'm doing, okay, is being recorded, so that whoever wants to download the video, they can download the video and they can watch it their own time. But the idea is, masuk sekolah je, this is done. Okay, I'm no longer teaching for this now. Okay, but anyway, coming back to this, anybody got any more questions? Okay, thank you for the 2 questions so far. I'm very encouraged that you have questions for me. Okay, some of you I can see that you're traveling the house now. Okay, it's fine. Travel out the house. Okay, some of you are okay. Quite a number of you turn off your camera. It's fine. You can turn on your camera, can you turn off your camera? Yes. Okay, fine. Some of you have no name, some of you are strange name, so I'm not really sure. Not a problem at all. Yeah. So anybody have any more questions for me that you want me to know? What time and what day started on? Sorry, I need to know macam mana mau dapat this video. I will probably send it to the Telegram group, which is why the Telegram group is very important. Because I cannot fit everything into the WhatsApp group. Okay, so it's like Telegram group, and no matter how big the file is, I can just send it on. So it's quite easy. Thanks for the question. No, it won't be 1 gig. Yeah, even if it's 1 gig, I'm sure you have enough space. Sorry. Well, like I said, maybe it's I hope that you guys are using your laptop, because I think the laptop reception is a little bit better. But I know some of you don't have, some of you are using your phones, it's totally fine. But I really hope that you can get your phone, because I don't know. Okay, maybe. Anybody got any more questions? Don't forget to raise your hand. Okay, press raise hand and then I will unmute. But it'd be good if you can raise your hand though, or at least so that I got a chance to unmute you all. Oh dear, here we are. Are we going to start into the empty talk? Ni cakap kosong sudah ini. Kalau tiada soalan sudah mau ditanya. Begitu. Anybody got any more questions? Apa question Jaka? Well, I guess. Okay, sorry, Daniel. Question number 9 from which book? You have to tell me which book, because there are a couple of books that we are talking. It can be this book. Okay. It can be even a textbook if you are lucky enough to use the textbook, or it can be the file very far. Question 9 from the same set. Question 9. This offer. Can you tell me what topic this is from, Daniel? Honestly, you don't know. Okay. Question number 9. Question number 9. A curve has an equation. Find the equation at tangent. Okay. This is from differentiation. Okay. This one you learned last year. after your final exam and you had like 2 weeks to learn the entire thing. Okay, so it's very, very plausible that you probably forgot. It's okay. All right, so you're given a curve with an equation y equals to 3x plus 1 over x. Okay, and then it's given that it passes through the point P of 1 and 4. Okay, and you're asked to find the equation of the tangent to the curve. Okay, at point P. Okay, when we were doing integration, okay, I'm not sure if you remember this, but when we were doing integration, we always hear this word gradient function. Okay, I'm not sure if you remember, but when we were, for those of you who just came in, we are doing step number 1, question number 9. Okay, step number 1, question number 9. Again, I recommend you to differentiate between the steps so that you don't delek to buku or masalah juga. Okay, but anyway, we're doing step number 1, question number 9. So we're talking about this one where I give you the equation, give you a point, and then disuruh cari the equation of the tangent to the curve. Okay, okay, disuruh cari the equation of tangent to the curve. Okay, so I was saying that when we were doing integration, we hear a lot of this word gradient function. Okay, and if you remember, gradient function actually refers to the dy dx. Okay, but the question that we need to ask is, what gradient? Gradient apa ini? Okay, actually the gradient that we're talking about here is referring to the gradient of the tangent. Okay, and every equation is always y equals to mx plus c. Okay, because the tangent is a straight line. Okay, if this is a curve at a certain point, I'm going to call it point P. Okay, there is a line, and this line is what we call a tangent. Okay, because the tangent line touches the curve at one point. Okay, that's why it's called a tangent. Okay, so when we talk about the gradient function dy dx, gradient function dy dx, actually we're saying that it is the gradient of the tangent. Okay, and that brings us logically to think that, if y is the equation of the curve, if I want to find the gradient function, if I want to find the tangent punya gradient, I have to find the gradient function. And in order for me to find the gradient function, I will have to differentiate. Okay, differentiating y equals to 3x plus x to the power negative 1. I'm going to simplify this so that it becomes easier to differentiate. So dy dx will become 3 minus x quarter negative 2. Okay, changing this over to 3 minus 1 over x to the power of 2. Okay, and this is the gradient function. And the gradient function helps us to know what is the value of the gradient for the tangent by substituting the x value, which is why this x and y is very important. When you substitute the x in here, I get a certain value, 3 minus 1 over 1 to the power of 2, which is equals to 2. And this, my friend, is known as the gradient of the tangent. Okay. And if you remember just now, in the earlier one, when we're doing question number 3, you have the you have the gradient, and you have 1 point. You can figure out the rest already. Okay, the point is still the same, 1 and 4. The gradient is 2. Y equals to mx plus c. Can I find c? Can. Okay, substitute the gradient in 2. Substitute the x and the y, 4 and 1. And then I can find c. C equals to 2. So the equation of the tangent is y equals to 2x plus 2. Voila. Done. Okay. Actually, dia punya langkah senang saja ini kan. It's just you need to figure out what the question actually wants. Equation of tangent to the curve basically means you differentiate, you substitute to find the value of the gradient, and then you use the same point, okay, into our original equation, this one, to get c. You can get the equation of this one. Okay. Remember, once again, rewrite the equation. If they ask you for an equation, a lot of students they stop here. Okay, berhenti because they just want to see. No, please If the question asks for the equation of the tangent to the curve, write the equation properly. Okay, the equation of tangent. Okay, so all these are all berkaitan, you know. Okay, gradient function, okay, has to do with differentiation, has to do with integration. From the gradient function, how do I find the original curve? I integrate. Okay, yeah, this chapter is getting annoying. Okay, sorry. Yes, thank you for the question. I hope this helps, Daniel. Okay, this is a very popular question in paper 1. Okay, they give you a curve, they ask you to find the equation of tangent, or the other way around. They give you the gradient function, they ask you to find the original curve. Okay, not a problem. I hope it helps. Okay. Anyway, it's a tutorial anyway. So, any more questions? Welcome. Some of you, if you guys are sleepy, you can go back one. You can leave one noise. Oh, okay, yes. Kenapa? Hold on, team. Kalau gradient function integrate jadi equation of the curve. Okay, if I integrate, this is the gradient function, remember? Okay, this is the gradient function yang selepas saya differentiate sudah. Kalau saya integrate this one, I will get this. Okay, so they integrate the. Okay, Tim has a question now. Hold on, Tim, I'm gonna unmute you. Yes. Kenapa, Tim?
Black book. This book.
Oh, the file.
Yeah, the file one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Page 27, question 8.
27, question 8. Wow, our first unmuted person of the night. What question are we doing? Sorry, what title is it? 27.
It's integration.
Okay. Page 27, question 8. Okay, this one. Okay, integration.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this the one with the problem? Yeah, this is the question with the problem. Hold on.
Okay.
Liao, is this the one with the problem? I need to ask Liao first. Vincent, is this the question with the problem? Is Vincent even in here? Has he left? Vincent left already. Oh, Vincent is here. Vincent. Actually, even Jeremy also answered this question. Belum buat. Okay, I think we can try and do. Okay, so people, we are, yeah, Jeremy tidur sudah. Hold on, Haris. Question 9 sudah kena jawab. Question 9 got problem. Question 9 got problem. Yeah, correct. Question 9 is the one got problem. Haris got to sekejap. Let me answer this question. We're doing question 8, okay, from this question. Okay, so oh, okay, fine. Haris Dawes Azhar. Okay, question number 8. You have these two curves. One curve and one straight line, and they are somehow intersecting at a certain line. So the curve is y equals to 2 minus x, and the straight line is y equals to 2 minus x, and the curve is y squared equals to x, and you have this point A, which is m and n. Okay, and this is shaded. So the first question is, oh, my black pen has no ink. Okay, so the first question is, find the value of m and n. Okay, it's important to note, and this is a very popular paper 2 question. It's important to know that any point on this side is always called a point of intersection, Okay, and if you have point of intersection, you can either do one of two things, either the y equals to the y or the x equals to the x. Because at the point of intersection, the x coordinate and the y coordinate for this curve and the x coordinate and y coordinate for this straight line is the same. Okay, so since it's the same, I can use either one of these methods. But in order for me to do y equals to y, it's a little bit complicated because it's y squared and this is y. So it may be easier for me to do in x equals to x. Okay, let me change this. Y equals to 2 minus x. I'll get x equals to 2 minus y. Okay, and this one is y squared equals to x. So saya kasih sama itu x. So I'll get 2 minus y equals to y squared. Okay, I can bring this to the left or bring this to the right. I'm going to bring this to the left. So minus y squared minus y plus 2 equals to 0. And whenever you see this, guys, this is a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation means EQN. But EQN means, don't forget, you need to do the y-n step. Okay, it doesn't matter what the y-n step is. I'm going to change this a little bit to make it easier for me. Plus y minus 2 equals 0. So when I do this, I will get I will get y minus 1 and y plus 2. Can somebody verify this for me? Correct. Y equals to 1, y equals to negative 2. Terus saya layan. Because I don't have my calculator, I have my calculator. Should be correct, I think. Plus 2 minus 1 minus 1. Okay, okay. Okay. Half 2 and negative 2. Calculator kamu hilang. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Shamil. But, so y equals to 1 and y equals to negative 2. Okay, look logically, look logically at the two values of y and look at the position of point A. Which y makes sense? Okay, obviously y equals to 1 because our y coordinate here is positive. Okay, so ini kita reject. So if y equals to 1, I can substitute my y into any one of these. Okay, I'm going to substitute in here. So x equals to 2 minus y, 2 minus 1 is 1. So x equals to 1, y equals to 1. Tapi soalan minta nilai m dan n. Jadi m equals to 1 and n equals to 1. Okay, so the starting point for this question is understanding the point of intersection. Point of intersection is y equals to y, x equals to x. Usually will involve, quadratic equation where you can decide. Okay, you cannot take both values because it doesn't make sense for this to be negative 2. Okay, so even if you have two values, mesti pakai otak sikit lah. Okay, have to use your brains a little bit, and there has to be one that's correct and one that doesn't make sense. Okay, is that all, Tim? Or you want me to answer the whole question? Tim, you want me to answer the whole question now? Tim is not listening to me. Okay, fine, the whole question then. Okay, coordinates of B, Okay, coordinates of B, this is coordinate of B, this is easy. B is also known as the x-intercept. Okay, so x-intercept, if x-intercept means y is equal to 0. But for which line? Okay, it's not the y squared equals to x line, but it's actually the y equals to 2 minus x. So if y equals to 0, so x must equal to 2. Therefore, the coordinate of B is 2 and 0. Okay, just to remind you that if the question asks for coordinate, you have to give this as the final answer. Okay, a lot of students make a very silly mistake by stopping here and forgetting this. It's not acceptable. Even if you get the right value, you need to answer the question. Okay, don't forget that. All right, question D. So I'm going to rub this off, but I'm just going to put the two values here. This is 1 and 1. This is 2 and 0. Okay, because we're probably going to use this for our next part, which is most likely to find the area. Okay. Boleh explain balik coordinate itu. Sorry, I cannot re-explain everything, but you can watch the video again. Okay, I'll send the video and then you can rewind and you can watch me explain the same thing 100 times now. Okay, sorry. Otherwise, we'll be here until 2 a.m. I got no more voice. Okay. All right. Calculate the area of the region bounded by the curve in a straight line x equals to m. Okay. So there's a boundary that they give. Sorry. Okay. So the boundary is the curve and x equals to m. Okay. X equals to m is this line, but it is not drawn there, Okay. If you remember from your normal maths, kalau x equals to m, bahkan dia garis macam mana? Adakah dia garis menegak atau adakah dia garis mendatar? Okay, so this is the one, dia garis menegak at point M. So since this is point M, so we have this garis over here. This is garis x equals to M. So we have this region that is bounded by the curve and x equals to M. The curve, okay, fine. So this one. Okay, so this is pretty simple. All you have to do is, if you want to find the area, so the area, the curve, and x equals to m. Okay, fine. So the area will be the integration of this curve, okay, y against dx from 0 to 1. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Okay. Is there another way? Because let me tell you what the problem with this is. If you do it this way, ours is y squared. Oh, then I think you should be able to. Okay, so you get 0 to 1. This will become x to the power of half. Okay, dx. Because if y squared equals to x, therefore y equals to x. Square root of x. Okay, which is actually x to the power of half. So until b1 only okay there. Oh, okay. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, if I have y squared equals to x, I want to integrate y. So I need to move the square over to become square root to be x to the power of half. And this is a simple integration. Okay, when you integrate this, you get x to the power of plus 1, 3 over 2 over 3 over 2. Okay, from 0 to 1. Okay, then you can do the rest. Okay. Yeah, all right. Thanks for the question. If you guys want me to do B2, since there's no request for B2, then I'll leave it at this because Steve only asked until B1. Okay. But this is also another type of popular question. Dia bagi dia punya boundary. Okay, bounded by the curve and x equals to m. Okay, so we need to understand di mana dia punya sempadan, and then di situ saja. Okay, so dia not necessarily tempat yang kamu lorek itu yang kau kena cari. Okay, sometimes we need to read the question to figure out which region they want. Okay, so in this case actually saya mau tahu this area saja. Which is, if you think about it, tiada kaitan pun dengan bahagian ini. Alright, thank you for the question. Who was asking this? Tiada. Okay. Question 9 got problem. Correct. Question 9 is the one that's the problem. Thanks, people, for the question. If there's any more questions, sorry for those of you who just answered. If there's any more questions, you can always raise your hand. Just click on raise hand, and then I will unmute you so that you can ask me whatever question you want. Tristan, this better not be a dumb question. Okay, fine. Yes, Tristan.
Hello.
On the air. Hi.
I wanna ask the book before this book,
The book
set
before
set one.
Okay.
Set one.
Shami, hold on. I'm going to come back to you in a while. Yes, set 1.
Paper 2, question 4.
Paper. Where got paper 2 or?
Seriously,
Set 1.
Whoa.
Set 1, paper 2, question 4. This book.
Oh, sorry. Set 2. Set 2.
Set 2, question 4. Okay, step 2, question 4. Okay, sorry, I'm going to put it on Q first because somebody asked me to answer B2. Okay, so Tristan, I'm going to put you on Q first. Step 2, question 4.
Okay.
Then Shami asked me whether it's dy. Okay, thanks for the question. Okay, so first of all, Shami asked me whether I can use dy. If I use dy, okay, then it's double the work, right? Because if I use dy, I'll be finding for this area. So if I find the square minus this area, I will get the same answer lah. You can use dy, but it's longer. Okay, kalau saya pakai dy kan, means I'm using this curve, the same curve, which is totally fine. Okay, if I use this one, to be same lah. Okay, 0 to 1, because this is also 1. Okay, but instead I'll be having y squared against dy. Okay, if I this one will be y3 over 3 from 0 to 1, and then substitute, yada. Okay, but that only gives me this area. If I want to find this area, okay, it will be the square minus the black color section. Sorry, I don't know if you can see the black and the purple, but this is black and this is purple. If I want to find this purple section, I have to minus the black. So it's double the work. Okay, I can use dy, but it's double the work. As opposed to using this, just directly. Okay. Yes, another thing I need to mention, guys, if you detect a mistake in my explanation, okay, please don't hesitate to ask or don't hesitate to suarakan. Okay, because this is live, so obviously I'm going to make mistakes. Okay, so if you feel that, saya salah kan, don't just terima macam tu. Okay, just voice it out lah. Okay, speak up if you know that I have done something wrong. Okay, B2, B2 is probably a volume question. Okay, I'm going to rub off the non-essential part first. Okay. Now I've opened the page again. Page 127. Okay, B2, the volume generated when the shaded region is revolved through 360. Okay, so this is the shaded region, but the problem is the shaded region has two sections. One is the section that is covered by the curve, and the other one is the section that is covered by the triangle. Okay, now in my side, if I teach volume, okay, hold on. Somebody has one into full screen. Is everything okay? Sorry, I thought something went wrong. Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened. What did Nicole do? Did Nicole just unspotlight me? Oh, yeah. I guess I should enable the screen sharing. Okay, everyone okay? Can I continue? Okay, so if there are two sections for the volume, okay, usually I will teach people to find the volume in two different parts. Okay, if it is in the shape of a triangle, the volume will be a cone. Okay, and the volume for the cone is 1/3 pi r h squared. Okay, pi r squared h. Sorry. Okay, 1/3 pi r squared h. In which, if this is the shape, okay, if this is the original triangle, if I revolve this, okay, kalau saya pusingkan dia, okay, I will get this sort of conical shape lah, in which this height, okay, is the radius. Okay, and then this height is actually the height of the cone. Okay, and the good news is everything is 1, 1 because the radius is 1 and then the height is also 1. 1 to 2 is 1. Okay, so this would be 1/3 pi. This will be 1 squared and also 1. It should give me 1/3 pi. That's for the cone side. Okay. Then for the integration side, no choice. This is the curve. So if it's the curve And if you revolve it, okay, kalau curve dia macam ni, if you revolve it, kalau kursi putih 360 darjah kan, you get a bowl. Okay, and there's no formula for isi padu of a mangkok. Okay, I mean, if you are the mangkok, then it's different, but there's no formula for the isi padu of a mangkok. So because of that, we have to use integration. Okay, so we're going to use integration since we're using the x coordinate. Okay, the volume of the curve side, okay, is we're using the x coordinate, so we're definitely using 0 to 1, so we definitely have to use y squared. Okay, and we find that y squared is actually x dx from 0 to 1, and it becomes very simple integration. Okay, x squared do from 0 to 1, yada yada yada, then this volume plus this volume, oh sorry, there's a pi in front. Okay, whatever answer in pi, you can campur sini, then you get the answer. Anda pandai berdiam, okay juga. Hello. Wow. Okay. Okay. So coming back to Tristan's question. Yes, Tristan's question. Wait, guys. You know that I can turn off the chat feature if you all don't. Okay, so like you're gonna talk, use this as talk lah. Okay, or do it outside lah, because some people got questions, but because you all cakap pasal jagung lah, San Francisco kan, terus menjadi gangguan. Okay, because unless you really want the recording to go more than one thing lah. So okay, coming back to Tristan's question now. Tristan's question is, hi Rob, what's the question? Tristan, what's the question again? Sorry. Integrate bukan x squared over 2. Correct, thank you very much. Sorry, Tristan's question was step 2, right? Step 2, question 9. Am I right? Step 2, question 9. It's so nice to teach in such a peaceful environment. Oh dear. Step 2, question 4. Step 2, question 4. Hello. Hi, Tristan. Sorry, why am I saying hi to you again? Step 2, question 4. Is given that n and 6 minus n are the roots of quadratic equation. Okay, guys, I'm going to rub this off. Okay. It's given that n and 6 minus n are the roots of the quadratic equation. Oh, here's a compare question. So, you're given the roots are n and 6 minus n. Okay, and then you're given the quadratic equation x squared plus px plus 9 equals to 0. Okay, plus 9 equals to 0. Is this the question, Tristan? Are you sure? Okay, fine. So since Tristan is nodding, come back to the basics. The basics of any quadratic equation is x squared minus the sum of roots x plus the product of roots equals to 0. Okay, in this case, the sum of roots is n plus 6 minus n, which is 6. The product of roots is n times 6 minus n, which is 6n minus n squared. Okay, and in this case, dalam case yang ini, okay, the sum of roots is minus p, and the product of roots is 9. So all you have to do is compare this and this, compare this and this, and it gives you this and this. So since the sum of root is 6 equals to minus p, therefore p equals to minus 6. And the product of roots is 6n minus n squared equals to 9. Okay, if I bring this across, minus n squared plus 6n minus 9 equals to 0. I'm going to change all the signs to make it easier for me. Plus 9 equals to 0, therefore n equals to 3. Okay, 3 and 3 lah. One answer each. Honestly, this is set 2 from this book. This set 2 question 4. Set 2. Okay. This is honestly question. Okay, so question number 4. Okay, to the person that PM me to ask me which question, I'll just hold on for a while. I'm coming. I just want to point out something about this. That yeah, if you're given the roots, it is natural to find the sum of roots and product of roots. And then when they give you the equation, also find the sum of roots and the product of roots from the equation. And always remember that the sum of roots, dia punya tanda mesti opposite to the one that is given. So if here the sum of roots is p, actually it's negative p. It must be terbalik. But the product of roots must be the same number. Oh, sorry. I'm always out of the frame. So strange. Okay, the product of roots always be the same. Okay, same sign. Okay, but this one, because you're counting straight from the roots, you don't change the sign. Okay, it's still 6. Okay? Does this help, Tristan? All right. Somebody asked me, okay, bye, Lucas. This is question number 4. Set 1, question number 4. We're looking at this question. Jangan salam dulu. Shall I hit the pause button? Okay, bye, Lucas. Yeah, how long do you guys want this to go on? Oh my God. Okay, somebody asked me from set 1, question number 4. Okay, set 1, question number 4. This one we were answering question number 3. Now we're going to do question number 4. Oh, okay. But the problem is we haven't learned this. So how? For some people, guys, we haven't learned vector yet. I need to ask the person who asked me this question because we haven't learned yet. Oh, totally other. Okay, fine. Okay. Oh, are you copying this? Yeah, somebody asked me a question from set 1 or question number 4, but the problem is it is from the chapter called vector, which I don't think anyone has learned unless you've learned this in tuition. So maybe tuition questions we leave it first. Okay, we focus on the questions that are coming up by exam. Okay, like quadratic equation, integration. I hope everyone has a list of the titles coming up for exam. I think first, very important. All right, done. Anybody? Any more questions to ask? Thank you for the questions so far. I'm going to take a drink of water. Wow, I feel like a YouTuber. Okay, since we're waiting for questions from people, let me ask you guys. Is this clear enough? Like if I were to give a lecture, or if I were to give, like, mengajar dalam kelas kan, cara begini kan, does it help you? Does it, like, do you think there's too many problems? Okay, so far I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up from the people that turn on their camera. People that turn on their camera. Okay, so some people are still kind of Jeremiah, Lina, ignore what? Okay, since there are no more questions, I'm going to pause.